So this is going to be one of Mark's inside scoops, and as you can maybe tell, this is not the green screen. So post-pandemic, one of the things people are looking at as an issue to deal with is the backlog in the courts. You know, from day to day we have landlord-tenant disputes, foreclosures, contract disputes, tax appeals, partnership settlements. The list kind of goes on, and those happen day in, day out in commercial and investment real estate. You probably are aware that the backlog is probably going to take years to work through. For a while, courts were closed, period, and litigation just came to a standstill. There's still eviction and foreclosure moratoriums in many jurisdictions, including here in Hawaii, that are not allowing those things to proceed. So over the past year, cases have taken nearly twice as long to get through the judicial system as they did from 2019 to 2020. The median number of months a U.S. District Court judge was to hear and terminate cases jumped from 14 to 27 months. Gosh, can you imagine waiting 27 months for a reaction, to have it solved? And if you want a jury trial, it was even slower than it was before. The pandemic is causing even more legal issues, particularly with leases, not fewer. All the tenants worrying whether they can be held to those leases or not. Tenants have been kicking the can down the road, knowing that the lenders have been doing that too so far. Some courts have shifted to adapting to using teleconferencing software to handle aspects that don't require juries, such as motions, initial court appearances, and traffic violations and small claims. So we've seen a little bit of that here. We've even seen mediators come into play to try to help solve some of these issues. So let me tell you about some of our experience. At first we were negotiating with tenants directly, and as many tenants are, we have had as many different solutions back, particularly in 2020, whether it was no change in the lease or a little bit of free rent or adding term on the back. So the key was communication with the tenants. As we've come out of this, it's clear that some of those tenants weren't going to survive probably pre-pandemic anyways. So instead of taking a long court battle, we've worked directly with the tenants to solve issues. So one specifically, a large back rent balance. We agreed if they would leave within 60 days, we would wipe the slate clean. Now, we knew we'd be able to find a tenant fairly quickly for that space, and that was the case. We released it within 2 months. We've seen mediation too, in another instance where, by Zoom, tenant came to the table, they owed a bunch of rent, they, kind of overstayed their welcome. Landlord agreed to pay a small fee, $1,000 to the tenant if they would leave within 30 days. So you got to get creative on these situations. You got to take it a little bit into your own hands, try to stay away from real sticky, serious stuff, and just be cautious and mindful about when and if you can backfill a tenant. All right, aloha. Complete information on all the stuff we're working on is on the brattonteam.com website, or our YouTube page is all kinds of fun and informational facts. Aloha.